Noam Chomsky, he's like the intellectual godfather of dissent. For decades he's been calling out BS wherever he sees it. From Vietnam to Iraq, from corporate greed to media manipulation, Chomsky's not afraid to speak truth to power. Even if that power is wearing an expensive suit and has a really good PR team. He's a linguist by trade, but honestly, the man should have been a superhero. His superpower? Unraveling complex systems of power and explaining them in a way that even your drunk uncle at Thanksgiving could understand, though he might still disagree. Chomsky's work has influenced generations of activists, scholars, and anyone who's ever thought, wait a minute, something's not right here. In Global Discontents, Chomsky teams up with journalist David Barsamian to dissect the state of the world. Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. The book is basically a series of conversations between Chomsky and Barsamian, covering everything from the erosion of democracy to the rise of authoritarianism. They talk about the growing gap between the rich and the poor, the increasing influence of corporations, and the ways in which our media manipulates us into accepting the unacceptable. It's a sobering look at the challenges facing humanity, but it's also a call to action. Because for Chomsky, recognizing the problem is just the first step. One of the big themes in Global Discontents is the fragility of democracy. Chomsky argues that democracy is under attack from all sides, both from within and outside of governments. He points to the rise of populist leaders who exploit fear and division, the increasing influence of money in politics, and the ways in which our civil liberties are being eroded in the name of security. Sound familiar? It should. Chomsky's been warning about this stuff for years. And guess what? He was right. The erosion of democracy isn't some abstract concept, it's happening right now all over the world. Another major theme is the unchecked power of corporations. Chomsky argues that corporations have become so powerful that they now wield more influence than many governments. They use their wealth to lobby politicians, shape public opinion, and avoid accountability for their actions. Think about it. Who's really calling the shots? Is it the people we elect, or is it the corporations who fund their campaigns and write the laws that benefit them? Chomsky makes a compelling case that we're living in a world where corporate interest often trump the needs of people and the planet. Section 5. The media's role manufacturing consent. The media doesn't get off easy either. Chomsky argues that the media, far from being a watchdog on power, often serves as its mouthpiece. He talks about how corporate ownership and advertising revenue influence media coverage, leading to a narrowing of perspectives and a focus on stories that serve the interests of the powerful. He calls this manufacturing consent, the idea that the media can shape public opinion by controlling what information we're exposed to and how it's presented. Basically, we're being spoon-fed a carefully curated version of reality. One that keeps us distracted and complacent while the real power brokers do their thing. Section 6. Chomsky and Barsamian tag-teaming the truth. One of the things that makes Global Discontents such an engaging read is the dynamic between Chomsky and Barsamian. Barsamian is a skilled interviewer, asking the tough questions and pushing Chomsky to elaborate on his points. The result is a conversation that's both informative and thought-provoking. Chomsky's insights are sharp and insightful, delivered with his trademark mix of wit and outrage. It's like listening in on a conversation between two brilliant minds as they try to make sense of a world that often seems to be spiraling out of control. Section 7. Relevance today. This shit's still happening, so how relevant is Global Discontents today? Sadly very, in fact, it's scarily prescient. Many of the trends Chomsky and Barsamian discuss have only intensified in recent years. We've seen a global rise in populism and authoritarianism, increasing economic inequality, and a media landscape that's more fragmented and polarized than ever. If anything, the book feels even more urgent now than when it was first published. It's a stark reminder that the problems we face aren't going away on their own. We need to be paying attention. We need to be asking hard questions. And most importantly, we need to be willing to challenge the status quo. Section 8. Why Chomsky Matters. Wake up, sheeple. Chomsky's work is often challenging. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world we live in. But that's precisely why his voice is so important. We need people who are willing to speak truth to power, even when it's unpopular. We need people who can help us see through the BS and understand the forces that shape our lives. Chomsky's work is a call to action. It's a reminder that we're not powerless in the face of injustice. We have the power to organize, to resist, and to create a more just and equitable world. But it starts with being informed, engaged, and willing to fight for what we believe in. Section 9. Final thoughts. Read the book, seriously. Global Discontents isn't exactly a light read. It's not something you breeze through on a beach vacation. It's a book that will make you think, it will make you angry, and it just might inspire you to take action. So, if you're ready to have your worldview challenged and your assumptions questioned, pick up a copy of Global Discontents. You might not agree with everything Chomsky says, but you'll definitely come away with a deeper understanding of the world we live in. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be inspired to do something about it.